Welcome back to our Down Home Soul Food series. Now we are going to get into a real favorite that I didn't even mention, vegan fried chicken. Now let me just say this, gluten should not be eaten often. It is what people call a transition food. If you're missing meat, then it's an easy reach, but I do not recommend that you eat gluten products often. These treats that I show you are occasional things. You should do live juicing, fasting, and things like that. And eat your regular vegetables. And I'm going to show you two different ways you can make vegan fried chicken. Now unfortunately, the only veggie protein that actually has the consistency of real chicken is gluten. But you can do tofu instead if you would prefer. Or you can even try tempeh. But tonight we're going to be working with two different kinds of glutens. The first is Vital Wheat Gluten Flour. And this is by Bob's Red Mill. And as you know, you can get this at a health food store or at Whole Foods, which I'm always plugging. Also Gardein. Now this happens to be a Tuscan flavored Gardein chicken breast, but you don't have to use the Tuscan flavor. I take that out and I just use the chicken protein. And the reason why I got this flavor was because it's all they had in the store, but they do have plain. They even have chicken strips. So let me introduce you to the rest of the ingredients. For the gluten, if you're going to be mixing gluten, you will need some veggie broth, and I will put those measurements on the screen. Some veggie sal, Mrs. Dash, optional, or your favorite seasoning. Original almond milk, not vanilla, not any other flavor, because you don't want sweet chicken unless you do. Egg replacer, paprika, baking powder, and black pepper of your choice. It can be coarse or it can be finely grounded. Also, one more thing I almost forgot. Not chicken bouillon, which I already mixed in here, and some regular whole wheat flour, any kind of flour. You know, it doesn't even have to be wheat. It can be gluten-free flour. It's up to you. And let me show you what the Gardein chicken patty looks like. See, it's already shaped like a chicken breast. I always say worst things first, so I am going to mix the gluten before I fry the Gardein chicken patty. Now, first let me tell you what this marinade is. This is 1 cube of not chicken bouillon. Also, this is veggie broth and a little Earth Balance vegan butter. Now you can use canola oil or any oil that you like. Just any kind of oil that will give the marinade this consistency. Okay, I'm taking my gluten mixture and I'm stirring it around. Some Mrs. Dash. Also, let me mention that the not chicken bouillon will really help the mixture taste like chicken. Now I'm going to add my veggie sal. Let me note that the Mrs. Dash is salt-free that I'm using, so this is where the veggie sal comes into play. Okay, so I'm mixing this. Now I'm going to add my chickpea flour. Let me note that I buy my chickpea flour from the Indian market, the East Indian market. And it's really cheap. I got this for about $3. This brand, it's going to say Bisan Garam flour. Now you can get it from Bob's Red Mill at the store, but I just like to go from the source because in East Indian cooking they use a lot of chickpea flour. So I'm still stirring. I have not yet added my wet ingredients besides the marinade. I'm going to take my 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. Now each time you add an ingredient, just keep stirring. Now I'm going to add my cumin, whichever way you want to say it. I'm going to keep stirring. Now to this mixture, I'm going to add my water. Okay. Now I'm going to scoop as much as I can. I'm just going to start kneading it. Okay, now I'm going to take half of this mixture and I'm going to start kneading it with my hands for about 5 minutes. I'm taking half because I need it to fit in the palm of my hand because I need to get a good knead on it. Now also let me note that you can get gluten already prepared like this Gardein chicken patty. But if you want it your way so you can season it the way you want with those down home seasonings, then you got to go with the flour. I mean, you can do things with the Gardein chicken patty, but you can really get original when you do it like this. Also, you can get creative and you can shape it. Also, this could be a good April Fool's joke. They'll think they're getting a 2-piece and then they'll end up just eating a veggie protein. Okay, notice the more I knead, the more consistent the dough gets. Let me see. See that? This is at the point where I can start shaping it like a real piece of chicken, which I will do. I'm not going to even finish this. Right here, I'm going to shape this like a piece of chicken, like the big piece, like Chris Rock said, a big piece of chicken. Now I'm going to set this on the plate with the Gardein chicken patty. And now we are going to make, can you see that? Now we're going to make our batter. Now to this mixture, which is water, almond milk, flour, egg replacer, and baking powder, I'm going to take it and I'm going to stir it slowly. Now you can add seasoning to your batter, that's up to you. But the gluten already has a seasoning in it, so you may have to worry a little more when you're just doing the Gardein chicken patties. Then you can put seasoning in it, but this one I don't think I'm going to do like that. And if you notice, the egg replacer is making the batter really foamy, but don't worry about that. I'm going to keep stirring it a little more. Now we're going to take the Gardein patty and we're going to dip it in the batter. You can double dip if you want, but I'm just going to go ahead and dip it once. I'm going to set it back over here. Now I'm taking my gluten patty and I'm dipping it in the batter also. Okay, now for our dry batter, we have regular whole wheat flour, some paprika, and some black pepper. Now this is already pretty much mixed. I'm just going to add just my dash of paprika and my black pepper. And I'm just going to shake it around. Oh yes, and a dash of salt. Now I'm going to take the patties and I'm going to dip it in the dry flour. Okay. Now for the big mama. Take her. I'm going to turn her around in the dry batter. And if you want it extra crispy, once again, all you have to do is double dip back in the batter, then dip back in the dry batter. But this is just going to be a basic demonstration. All right, now we are ready to fry. As noted on the screen, I preheated my grease. And the best kind of grease to use can be peanut oil or vegetable oil. Peanut oil doesn't burn, this is better, but this is vegetable oil that I'm using. Now you want to keep frying until the chicken is golden brown. Now right now the chicken is at this point. Now with this one you can stop right here if you like. But I'm going to keep going a little more. And I'm going to take this out. Now the duration of frying the chicken is about 3 to 5 minutes if your grease is really hot. Now since this one is a gluten patty, you want to fry it a little longer to make sure that the gluten cooks. Now, for the sake of creativity and a little comic relief, I've decided to put my vegan chicken into a box, as you would a box of chicken. And I'm sure you're quite curious of what the chicken looks like on the inside, so I will cut it for you so you can see what it looks like, and so you will see I did not replace it with real chicken. It is vegan chicken. And my fingernails, it is time for a refill. Let me remind you that this is not healthy. It's just a lesser evil from fried chicken. So I would not advise you eat this all the time. Okay? because of the gluten in it. And I will be trying to work on a gluten-free recipe for vegan fried chicken. I mean, I already have tofu, which is just as good, but if you try to smother it into smothered chicken, it doesn't taste so good. So just have fun and get creative with it. You can shape it into whatever shapes you want to. Let me know how it goes also. So before I go, I just have one question. What piece of chicken you want? White or dark?